It's just so simple. We're posed with a bit of a dilemma. Trying to figure out what to train first. Try to figure out how to train whatever it is you want to train first. Okay, that's always interesting. But I sort of came up with something, and follow me if you will. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what it is that you need to train. What do I need to train? How do I figure out what I need to train? What is it that I need to train? So there's only a couple ways you can actually figure that whole thing out. You know, one way that seems to work for me is figuring out what you need to train. Just get on the floor and try to move everything. Because once you try to move everything, then you're going to figure out something to move. Okay? Once you get your something that you figured out what you're trying to move out of everything that you just tried to move, and you get that something, and you attack that something with everything you got. And see what you can get to go. And when you attack that with everything you got, then you try to figure out what you're going to get out of your everything you got that you just tried to do on something. All right, that makes sense. Then you got to hold up for a minute. Because sometimes when you just try to everything you got and nothing seems to work because it is something that you've picked out to try to move isn't functioning, then you got to find something else. So then you got to stop and figure it out again. So where were we? So once you figured out something else to hit, then you got to get back and you got to figure out what you have to do to hit that something else. And then that turns into something else completely. And then once you figure out what the something else is that you just figured out that you wanted to hit, you're going to have a problem with that. So that might confuse you a little bit. However, once you find out that something else that you have to hit, and you hit that with everything you got, well, then you might find out that that will do something. You might find out that that's not going to do anything. But you got to continue to do whatever you got to do in order to figure out what those somethings are. That's where it gets a little dizzying, a little bit annoying, to figure out what it is you have to do what it is you want to do, and figuring out how to hit everything with everything so you can figure out your something that else maybe you want to do. And if you can figure something out, maybe you can figure out something else. And if you figure that something else out, well, then maybe you should share it with somebody so somebody else can figure something else out for themselves and find out how to apply their anything into their everything in order to get something. All right, is this making any sense to anybody? Because if it does, and you've already figured it all out, okay? And if you figured it all out, maybe you should let somebody in on it. So figure out what your something is and figure out how to take everything and attack it with something, and maybe you'll end up with something. Got it? Good. So you got it? Everything plus everything equals something. And if it doesn't equal something, then figure out what else the something is. That's something else. And that would be everything you can do in order to do something. That would make sense to somebody, I guess. Well, alrighty. Does that make sense to you? Because therein lies the problem. That's the type of bullshit that we're putting in. That's what we're up against. Trying to understand all the bullshit. Trying to understand the how, the whats, the whys, the why nots, and all the rest of the bullshit. It's fucked up. It is completely and totally fucked up. There's something somewhere that can be done somehow that I just don't know. What I'm finding, it's just hard fucking work. It's just do whatever the fuck you can do, however the fuck you can do to figure out how you can do it, how you can not do whatever it is you need to do. But if you can figure out this rhyming fucking riddle bullshit, let somebody know. One of you fuckers out there has got an idea what's going on. Or maybe I'm the only guy that's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Simple fact of the matter, the best thing I'm finding is seriously, find out what you want to move and kick ass until you get it to fucking move. That's the fucking secret. That's the answer to that riddle of bullshit. Alright? Unless, of course, you got something else. Get your fat ass moving. Choppity fucking chop chop. Let's go, fuckers. It's time. It's your ball. Move it. Get your strap. Move it. Get your fucking whatever the fuck you gotta do. Move it.